My name is Yvette Pegues, and I am the host of disAbilityLife.tv, all thanks to BizLinked TV Network. I have to tell you, it's still so surreal to me to be sitting here before you with a show called Disability Life. Can you even imagine? I'm so excited about that. But what's even more important than being on this show is the sponsorship and support I get from BizLinks TV and one person that I'd love for you to meet. His name is Dan Myers, and he is the marketing director at an automobile lot called R&R Mobility. The reason why we're focusing on that today is because one of the hardest challenges and architectural barriers for people with disability is transportation, and it seems to be the hardest one to correct. So in the case where there's someone or an organization that has all the tools necessary to get us mobile, then that's something I think this show really needs to dedicate some time to. I'd also like to hear from each and every one of you. But before we go into that, let's talk about transportation. Why is that even important? Well, my particular story starts at my disability because I was not born in a wheelchair. I didn't know how to pick one. I didn't know whether I should get a power chair or if I should get a manual chair. So when you think about transportation, it's as simple as how you physically move from one place to the other. So it took a lot of time for me to actually get fitted for my chair. For the first 9 months, I just used one of those chairs you might see in a Walmart or a hospital where it has absolutely no padding. And I realized after just a few months and more than a year that I was causing more pain to myself. And I was in denial, I'll be perfectly honest, but then I had the opportunity to get fitted, which means my height, my weight, my needs were all considered when I got my wheelchair. Why is that important? Because before you even get into a car, you've got to get to the car. One of the things that we're doing as a family, because my home is 3 stories, is to get a stair lift. The stair lift is important because I can't even get out of the house with that. So we'll talk about all those things. We'll bring in an expert, but architectural challenges is part of the life of someone with a disability and those who love and serve them. With that said, R&R Mobility has been serving the state and is Trustdale certified. So they've been doing this for a very long time, and they offer a choice of any vehicle you want. So what does that mean? Any vehicle made to man today, trucks, minivans, and even smaller vehicles, can be purchased at the R&R Mobility lot and then adapted based on your own abilities, not your disabilities. So in my case, I had the opportunity to visit the Conyers location of R&R Mobility, and they literally customized some things for me. And we'll talk about that more right after the break.
What happens when soldiers come home? Brene Foundation offers hero support to ensure that our heroes abroad can continue to be heroes at home. We link veterans with organizations who are dedicated to guiding the transition from military hero to civilian hero. If you want to find out how you can support our troops at home, please contact the Brene Foundation or visit brene.com.
Does your son need a more challenging, focused, and encouraging educational environment? Renaissance Christian Academy is an affordable private school for boys located in McDonough, Georgia, with certified teachers that are uniquely equipped to help your son master learning. You're welcome to schedule a tour of our facilities by calling 770-305-9881 or by visiting our website at rcaboysacademy.org. Renaissance Christian Academy, developing young men to be great leaders through Christ-centered learning.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're right on time for a surprise. And that's going to happen off camera. So come with me, everyone. I can't wait until you see this. Welcome back to disAbilityLife.tv. The topic today is about transportation. I'm here at R&R Mobility with Dan Myers, who is one of my sponsors in addition to VMI. Please say hello, Dan.
Hi, Yvette. Good seeing you as always.
Likewise. Well, the topic we discussed was transportation, and who better to talk about transportation than R&R Mobility? But let's take a moment to get to know Dan. Tell us about yourself, Dan.
Well, life itself throws curves your way, and sometimes you get the opportunity to reinvent yourself. Almost 26 years ago, I had a motorcycle accident that left me a paraplegic with a severe head injury. And as I said at Shepherd Center, one of the premier rehab facilities in the world for spinal cord injury, staring up at a ceiling much like the one here in my office, trying to figure out what the heck am I going to do with myself now.
Right.
My wife was pregnant when I had my injury, and my son was actually born while I was still in rehabilitation at Shepherd Center.
Wow.
So I had the injury to deal with, in addition to figuring out how am I going to provide for my family,
Right.
how am I going to be a dad in a wheelchair. And it was very sobering. I had a lot of time to reflect on what I had done with my life up to that point, and moving forward, what was I going to do next. And there are so many epiphanies that occur when you're dealing with a life-changing event. And one of the biggest ones that I discovered was the biggest disability I had wasn't the spinal cord injury or the head injury. The biggest disability was one of self-doubt. Not believing in myself enough to really push my boundaries and see what I was truly capable of. So from very humble beginnings, working with Voc Rehab in Georgia, they offered to assist me going back to school. I had given the opportunity to go to Georgia Tech or Georgia State. They said I was really good at math and should go to Georgia Tech for industrial design. I disagreed and decided to go to Georgia State. And Voc Rehab also assisted in modifying a vehicle for me, and actually got a van modified here at R&R Mobility in 1990 that allowed me to go back to school and really get on with my life. And so from that point, did a lot of volunteering. Volunteering, I think, is a great opportunity for people to travel in different circles and meet different people. And while volunteering at Shepherd Center, as time went on, I was given the opportunity to go to work there part-time.
Wow. How long ago was that?
That was in January of 1993.
Okay.
And worked part-time. And in June, opportunity came up that Shepherd was looking for a full-time marketer, their first full-time marketer actually, in the field, and asked to interview for that position, and got it and became Shepherd's first full-time marketer. And then December of that year, a lot of changes were taking place at Shepherd Center, and was asked to become the director of admissions.
Wow.
For Shepherd Center. And you know, moving forward, or looking back, I guess, you know, had someone told me 3 years earlier when I sat in that hospital bed staring up at that ceiling trying to figure out what the heck I was going to do with myself, if they'd have said, now Dan, one day you're going to be running this place as director of admissions, I would have thought they were crazy.
Of course you would.
So, you know, but I think realizing, going back to this greatest disability of self-doubt, it's amazing what you can do when you get out of your own way. You know, and I think from the greatest gift I got from my injury was realizing the only thing stopping me from doing anything was myself. And I might have to be the one to figure out how to do it or pursue my goals and dreams with a lot of help and a lot of discovery. But that very humble beginning launched my career in healthcare, and worked at Shepherd Center for a little over 13 years, moved back into the marketing department after a couple years in admissions, and left in 2006 to go do some work with an air ambulance company, and then later went to go work for a private duty nursing company for injured workers in Georgia, primarily spinal cord injury, brain injury. And through volunteering, I've had the opportunity to serve on quite a few board of directors, organizations, and actually leaving this afternoon to go to board of directors meeting for the Jimmy Simpson Foundation, which is a post-acute residential environment for catastrophically injured persons. So on the other side, that was my career development. I think the other thing was very important for me. My wife and I had only been married for a couple of years,
Wow.
Prior to my accident, and figuring out while I stared at that infamous ceiling.
Yes.
Figuring
I remember
out.
it well.
Yeah.
I remember it well.
Yes. You have a lot of time to self-reflect, and I figured out, I had to be someone that my wife wanted to be with. I had to be someone that my friends wanted to hang out with. I had to be someone eventually, I hope, that an employer would want to have work for them. So I had to be proactive in that sense. I wasn't expecting someone to just accept me with my disability as a crutch to give me any sort of pass, that I needed to be deserving of whatever opportunities that I was going to pursue in life based on my own merit.
Wow.
And
How'd you get there?
well, I think being hard-headed, stubborn, as my mom said, I became very focused. But, believing in yourself and looking at life as being full of opportunity. It's not what you've lost in life. It's what you choose to do with what you have left is really all you have control over. So I've always tried to make the most of whatever assets I have or my passion and try to do something that's beneficial, hopefully for myself and others around me.
That's super powerful. And you've inspired me in ways that you probably still will never know. But I do appreciate the fact that we're wheel friends with a W and that we can overcome. And you've helped so many people do that right here at R&R Mobility with the help of VMI as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, from working from the home care company, had an opportunity to come to work at R&R Mobility, and there were some changes here, and actually looking to hire a marketer for the first time. And I've gotten to know Rodney and the R&R family over the years, and I said, this is the place for me. It was like the perfect storm. All my life experiences, all of my professional experiences became the perfect storm that this is where I needed to be. And for me, people said, God, what do you do at R&R Mobility? I said, we turn people into 16-year-olds.
Explain, please.
Well, what does every 16-year-old want?
Besides an iPhone, video games, and a car?
A car. Keys to independence. For the first time, you're in control of your life. You can go wherever you want, and that is so empowering. So for some of our clients, they become that 16-year-old over again, like I did at 30 years old when I got my van from R&R, and I didn't have to rely on my wife taking me somewhere anymore. I didn't have to wait for a ride to get somewhere anywhere, to be able to go anywhere. I could go wherever I wanted. And to me, that's really what we offer here. We sell journeys. To me, the van itself is just a piece of metal. It's what that vehicle or hand controls do for that individual to put them in control of their life, to continue to pursue their own independence, to be able to go back to school, go to work, for a grandparent to be able to load up in the van and go to see their grandson play t-ball, or to go to church, or just go to the grocery store. Simple things that so many people take for granted mean so much to our clients, that they can actually get engaged in that aspect of life again.
I can attest to that. Having so many opportunities to spend time with my children. My boys are really boys, and they're really busy, and it does take a lot for my husband to load me in, load me out. So I can definitely attest to the difficulty that I've personally had with transportation. Would you share with us, since this segment is focusing not only on our sponsor Spotlight, but also on transportation as a whole, and the difficulty that people with disabilities, especially those with mobility issues and equipment, have with transportation, because very few people understand exactly what that means. And I think you're being here at R&R and the experience that you've already communicated, I think you're best to answer that. Tell us about that.
Well, It's a very complex problem. Most of the people that have experienced a catastrophic event or injury, or like us, you're not prepared for the financial challenges a lot of times. You know, you're just trying to take care of the life that you had.
Right.
And as you're trying to move forward with transportation, there's this big void.
Right.
Oftentimes, funding is insufficient. There are some resources. I was benefited from working with Voc Rehab. I strongly encourage anyone with a disability to try to pursue a vocational career going back to school, which hopefully will lead to the final frontier, which is employment, which I think is not just the American dream, it's everyone's dream.
Agreed.
Everyone wants to become financially independent, and transportation is an integral part of that. One of the greatest barriers to healthcare as well is transportation. So our clients not only want transportation, they desperately need it just for the day-to-day aspects of their life. So working with our mobility consultants, we have 3 certified mobility consultants here at R&R. Even myself, I have just received my certificate.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, I think the first thing we have to do, we are consultants, we're not salespeople here at R&R. We want to help our clients understand what are their needs, what are their options, and how can we help them get funded. Working with organizations like the Brain and Spinal Cord Injury Trust Fund is one avenue. Fragile Kids is a great nonprofit organization that can help fund mobility equipment and other needs that someone may have for children and young adults up to age 22. But there's still a huge gap there that people are trying to find those financial support. One of the problems that a lot of people are doing now with these GoFundMe accounts is that if that account is not set up properly, it could put them at risk of losing their Medicaid or Medicare. So we work a lot with a nonprofit organization called Help Hope Live,
Yes.
which I was talking with David Beckel the other day, that helping people structure those fundraising endeavors the right way so it doesn't impact or put their resources at risk of losing their health care coverage, for example.
Okay, so am I hear you saying that in order to get transportation and become independent, you're finding that some of your clients are using crowdfunding and other resource opportunities to even buy a car? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, a lot of times what happens, and I'm sure for yourself, you have friends, family, coworkers, church members that want to do some fundraising. Oh, Yvette needs a vehicle, or
Right.
Yvette needs help with home modifications.
Right.
So let's raise some money. So, you know, people with great intentions go set up a crowdfunding or some account like that as a place to receive those donations.
Right.
And it can be complicated depending on if someone is receiving, let's say, some sort of government health care,
Yes.
that could be perceived as income.
Understood.
And which, again, if you know how that stuff works, you make too much money, you don't receive those benefits anymore.
Very good point.
So that's a critical piece. We also work with a lot of financial institutions that are very aware of the mobility cost of the vehicle. It's not just the chassis cost, but the modifications to the vehicle, that they see a van that normally sells for $25,000 is $50,000, and they don't appreciate that difference.
Okay, let me stop you for a minute. So, am I hear you saying that after you've purchased the vehicle, the modifications can double or just duplicate the price?
Typically, with most van modifications, the modification itself, and we'll have an opportunity to go out and show you one here shortly, they go and really just rebuild the vehicle from the floor up. It looks the same, it sits up a little higher, but those modifications typically are $22,000, $23,000, $25,000. That's just for the vehicle modification. And then depending on, like myself, I drive with hand controls and a 6-way power seat. That adds about $4,000, give or take, to the cost of the vehicle. So these financial institutions, they're aware of what those costs are and are willing to finance it. We also work with Georgia's own. USAA members, they have special financing as well. And Bank of America.
Wow.
So we work a lot with those institutions to make it affordable. The vehicle, because of that cost, they can extend the terms up to 10 years, which sounds like a lot, but again, looking at the amount of vehicle that you're having to purchase, it gets the payments very affordable, and where people can regain their independence and take care of all those life necessities that they need to.
Okay, so let me ask you, because are you working with a specific dealer? Do you have different types of vehicles on your lot? Are there any warranty concerns? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, all the vehicles come with their original manufacturer's warranty, just like you would if you went to any car dealer. Here in Atlanta, if you were looking at a Toyota and you went to a Toyota dealer, our Toyotas have the same Toyota warranty that you would find at a non-converted vehicle. The conversions themselves typically come with 3 years, 36,000 miles warranty coverage. And then there's extended warranties available that can cover both the mechanical operation of the vehicle, the engine, transmission, and the conversions at a very affordable rate. One of the things that we've tried to do here is look at what are some of those issues that just occur with any vehicle that sometimes create problems. For example, if you're in a modified van, the van breaks down,
right,
and you're on the side of the road, and you call AAA. Well, AAA will come take care of the vehicle, but unless you can get into the cab of that wrecker, you're stuck on the side of the road.
Wow. Okay.
So that's a big problem.
It is.
These vehicles are mechanical as well as they're made. Anything mechanical can break down.
Of course.
So we've contracted with Anchor Solutions. We provide a 2-year roadside assistance program that also provides transportation for that person with the disability, in addition to the wrecker for the vehicle. So it works out really great. They will dispatch a wrecker and a transportation company to wherever you're located at the same time.
Wow. Okay, so tell me a little bit about that mobile unit I saw in your lot.
Well, you know, one of the problems with any vehicle is it's almost like going to the dentist. People don't want to, or they don't think about maintaining their vehicle. And you really need to do that to keep your warranties in force. One of the problems people have, for example, if they're sick or their caregiver isn't available to bring the vehicle to us, the vehicle could be stuck in their driveway. If something's not working right, the door's not opening, the ramp's not coming out. We have a mobile response unit that will go anywhere, and I mean literally anywhere, to come to your house or to your place of work and do a repair, routine maintenance, so we can keep you on the road.
Wow, that's really exciting.
Well, it fills a big void out there that a lot of think. Well, before your disability, you know that you need to have your engine serviced, but you just can't get there.
Right.
And all of a sudden, the engine light comes on and it doesn't start. Well, if you could say, "Hey, so you'll come to my driveway and take care of this for me," and at a nominal cost additional to what it normally would run, most people would love to do that. So
right,
we're excited to be able to offer that as needed for our clients that are literally all over.
I'm excited as well because living with a disability and having transportation issues is not only common, but it's pretty well known within the disability community. But there's also safety, right? And there's also just the sense of time that's lost when we have to take public transportation or a cab. I think there's some fear sometimes even among the disability community, because if I got into a cab and the driver made the wrong turn, or there was a car accident, who's going to take care of me and guarantee my safety? So I really do feel like, as far as transportation is concerned, having my own vehicle, a vehicle that was custom built for me, that provides safety along with independence and more than convenience, then, I'd rather be in a vehicle than out in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night with a wheelchair. So I think safety is another thing that comes up a lot when I think about the fact that I don't have a vehicle that can take me and my wheelchair and my family to the places we want to go for fun and the places we need to go for health. So I really wanted to do this segment to make sure that those D-lifers out there understand that we hear you. We know transportation is a problem, and it's why I'm at R&R Mobility, because Dan solves problems. So with that said, tell me a little bit about VMI. I need to talk about VMI because they're also one of my sponsors, partnered with R&R Mobility. So give me just a few minutes about VMI, if you will.
Well, VMI is a great conversion company. They're out of Phoenix, Arizona, and they really the ones that have perfected the in-floor ramp system. Everyone else has mostly fold-out ramps. And there's some word going around that, the in-floor ramp system, you could get stuck in the van, which isn't true at all. VMI has perfected the in-floor ramp system. We proudly are a VMI dealer exclusively, and as a matter of fact, we're VMI's single largest dealer in the world.
Impressive. Okay.
So it's a great technology. There's actually 3 ways that you can get out of the vehicle. The normal way, which I'll show you, that normally deploys the ramp. There's a backup system, separate battery backup system, if the first system for whatever reason isn't working. And then there's a third manual system with a hand crank that you can deploy the ramp. So there isn't any problem with being able to get out of the vehicle should 1-2 of those systems fail. And once our customers see that, they appreciate the fact that you have an open doorway. Well, you have someone like yourself, 2 small children, and let's say you're in a van and you're taking them to school.
Right.
Well, they always want you to offload onto the passenger side.
Yes, carpool.
Right. So they're in the back seat and there's the ramp in the way. With the in-floor ramp system, you can always just open the door and you have full egress and ingress to get in and out of the vehicle without having the ramp in your way.
I like that. I do, because you're right. The ramps that are not in floor, they just kind of barricade the opening, if you will.
That's a good word to use.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about Trustdale. I see it everywhere around here.
Well, Dale Cardwell was an investigative reporter on WSB TV for years, and he was actually Clark Howard's producer. And anybody who's seen Trustdale over the years, he would investigate companies that might have been doing some nefarious things,
right,
or intentionally or not, and started Trustdale.com several years ago. And we looked at it. One of the things that we try to provide all of our customers is peace of mind.
Right.
Everyone's purchased a vehicle, that you felt like you were pushed into, and most time it's not even the vehicle that you really wanted, it's what the dealer wanted to sell you. So you got that vehicle sitting out in your driveway, like, God, what happened here? You have buyers.
Yes, I remember that clearly.
So Trustdale.com, he vets companies out in 7 very significant ways. And from, have you ever been sued? Do you have problems? Do you have insurance? All these different things. And making sure that you're honest and reputable, because Dale puts his name behind our company, that if we do something that we say we're going to do and we don't do it, Dale's going to make it right if he has to pay for it himself. Now you need to register with Trustdale when you become a customer to be able to take advantage of that, but we're proud to say that we're the only Trustdale.com certified mobility dealer in the country.
Wow. So just R&R.
Just R&R.
No other mobility company in the country. Is that what I'm hearing?
No other mobility company in the country.
Well, congratulations. So between Dan Myers, Trustdale.com, and VMI, I am just so honored to be able to sit here and talk to you, not just about transportation, about your personal story and the things I think we need to think about whenever we're looking at independence, because I think in some cases we get so anxious. Like you said, the 16-year-old, I want it now, I don't care if it works. But see, some of the investigative work and the back end work has already been done for you here at R&R Mobility, and I love that they take you on a journey, because what more do we want, right? We won't be in the same place forever. We'll always be living forward. But more importantly, I love that R&R Mobility has kind of done all the back work for you and fit you just like they would in a wheelchair or in clothing, to make sure that when you drive off of this car lot, you're still as happy as you were when you got here. Does that sound about accurate?
That's it. We provide long-term relationships. We have customers that have come back and purchased numerous vehicles from us over the years. We're one of the few mobility dealers that actually post all of our customer feedback directly to our website. It's usually buried in other mobility dealers, car dealers' websites where the customer reviews. I remember Neil Pope Ford years and years ago as a kid had a commercial. If you want to know about Neil Pope, ask his customers. If you want to know about R&R Mobility, you can go to our website, you can click on our customer reviews, and every customer has an opportunity to voice their feedback directly to our website.
That's incredible social proof, though. I'm really excited that you're not afraid of your customer feedback, and I know it makes you work a little harder because people are watching, but I know you well enough to know that you're going to do your very best regardless. And on doing your very best, I know that you're always up to something. Dan, what's next? Tell me what's going on here at R&R Mobility.
Well, it's very interesting you bring that up, Yvette. We're going to do a big announcement today. Abilities Expo came to Atlanta for years and years, and they pulled out of Atlanta back in 2014, and just didn't work out for them. The Atlanta market, they've been successful in other markets, but not coming back here. And through all my relationships, I convinced the owner here at R&R Mobility. I said, you know what, we can put on a mobility expo that'll be just as big and have the attention of the community, and working with nonprofits. I want the nonprofit organizations to feel like they were part of this expo. So we launched the Mobility Expo back in May 15th and 16th of this year. We're very fortunate that we had WSB TV's Family to Family sign on as a partner, and working with a lot of nonprofit organizations like Shepherd Center and Parent to Parent and Focus, able to put on this wonderful 2-day event that we actually had you as one of our
Yes,
presenters.
It was so exciting.
And so next year's event is going to be April 15th and 16th. The website is themobilityexpo.com. We're anticipating probably over 80 vendors and 2,500 to 3,000 attendees over that Friday and Saturday.
So tell us about an expo. If you've never been to an expo and Abilities Expo doesn't ring a bell, tell us what happens when you get through those doors.
Well, when you're trying to make life as simple as possible with a disability, you're looking for technology, you're looking for tools, you're looking for resources to help you minimize your disability's impact on your life so you can be as functionally independent as possible. So at the expo, you'll see not just vans and trucks that have been modified. You can see the latest in wheelchairs. You can see the latest in apps for your phone, environmental control systems, anything that will provide you with greater independence, not just for yourself, but for your family. What we strive for with the Mobility Expo is, and even with the vehicles that we sell here at R&R, it's all about maintaining your independence,
Right.
your dignity, and your safety.
Independence, dignity, and safety. Okay, that's tweetable.
Yeah. Well, and really, that, you know, as we age, those are things that our parents want, what we want for them, our grandparents. So really, that's what the expo is about, and that's really an extension of what R&R is about. We want our customers to be able to maintain their dignity, their independence, and their safety. So those products and services can be found at the Mobility Expo, and exciting motivational speakers like yourself.
Thank you so much. You know what I just thought about? You said dignity, independence, and safety. Aren't those the first 3 words in disability? Did you guys do that on purpose?
Well, I can't give away all my secrets.
Well, before we wrap this up, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about anything else that's going on. I mean, I'm expecting that our viewers will want to get to know R&R a little bit better. So can you give us some kind of insider updates and events or activities outside of the Mobility Expo?
Well, if y'all can give me just a minute, I'll be right back. I've got something exciting I want to show you.
Really? Okay. All right, we'll be right back.
Hello everyone, we are back from R&R Mobility. I hope you had as good a time as I did. It was so amazing to meet Dan. And you know what? He surprised me. I've got to share it with you, right? You're my D-Lifers, and we're talking about transportation. So come on back with me to R&R Mobility.
Hi, Yvette.
Hey!
How are you?
Great, how are you?
Good. Dan's got something that he would like to show you in the shop.
Oh, cool. All right, thanks,
Okay,
Ryan.
would you come with me?
Sure will.
Awesome.
Okay, so this is the shop.
Absolutely. Come right on back here.
All right. Hey, Dan.
Hey, Matt, come here.
All right. I'm rolling on. Wow. Oh, my gosh. Hi, guys. Oh, my gosh. When did this happen?
Well, Yvette, you know, you asked were there any big surprises here at R&R Mobility, and we've been so touched by your journey back to life and your desire to do more. The R&R family would like to give you a vehicle to use for you to continue your good work in the community and pursue your independence with your family and your friends. We want to give you the key to independence.
Yay! This is awesome! Wow, thank you guys! This is amazing! Show me how to use it.
Well, here's your keys. I will take this key momentarily. I bet this is a 2015 VMI Chrysler Town & Country vehicle. You were asking how to operate it earlier.
Yeah.
It's as simple as holding that door key down.
Wow. That's the underbody ramp we were talking about.
Yes. Comes out with sleeves, very low incline.
Can I get in?
Yes.
All right. Woo-hoo.
Congratulations from
R&R Mobility Fans and Lists and VMI.
So Dan, is this really happening? Is this my key to independence?
This is your key to independence, Yvette.
I'm really excited. Transportation is an issue for so many. I have been honored and blessed by R&R Mobility and VMI to experience independence for the first time in a very long time. So thanks so much, R&R. Please tune in next time to Disability Life TV.
I'm speechless. 3 years ago, the worst thing that could have ever happened to our family was to lose my mobility. And not just a car or a wheelchair, but access. Access to my children on the second floor who, if they were in an emergency, I would not be able to get to. Access. Transportation starts first in your head and your heart and your mind, and you don't miss it until it's taken away. But R&R Mobility saw the need, and they filled it in ways that I can never really thank them for, but I thank God daily. To think that 25 years ago, people with disabilities were in institutions. They couldn't even go to school. And now I'm driving? I mean, I want to fast forward to the D-Life Diamond right now, because I think each of you need to recognize the gifts around you, the people around you, and the possibilities are waiting for you. I never gave up, not because I'm strong, but the people around me were just amazing. And to have someone who's willing to not just believe in me, but to sponsor me, put their money where their mouth is, and trust me with such value, and give me such great response. I want to say to each and every one of my D-Lifers who are watching out there, your diamond is in your hands. You're holding it right now. You are the D-Life Diamond of today. Don't give up. And always, always follow your dreams. It's not a suggestion. Your dreams are a roadmap. So keep dreaming. Keep being a diamond. And thank you for tuning in.